Time now for all the day's business news. Charlotte Lamb is here in studio. Charlotte, good to have you with us. You're taking us first to China. It's celebrating Singles' Day, but it's not quite how it sounds. Tell us more.
That's exactly right. Well, this Singles' Day is marking the world's largest consumer holiday. That's bigger than both Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined. It was popularized by Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba, but this year Chinese shoppers have been worried about the economy and even overwhelmed by near-constant retail promotions. From Beijing, our correspondents Jan Kemenzine Broomby and Audeline Boisot sent this report.
For e-commerce influencer Angela, now is the busiest time of year. She spent the last few weeks finding the best Singles' Day deals for her fans. With China's domestic consumption lagging behind global averages, this year's discounts are all the more important.
Before, everyone thought Singles' Day only meant November the 11th itself, but now all platforms want to drive more sales, so the pre-sale period is quite long. Singles' Day has really become a fixed consumer holiday for Chinese people.
In the first 3 weeks of Singles' Day sales, e-commerce giant Taobao recorded more than 100 million orders from new users, a figure that was boosted by their new instant commerce strategy that involves packages arriving at your doorstep in under an hour.
Here we send goods out, collect returns, and ship things all across the country. Of course, it's had an impact. Ever since Taobao started it, it's been huge for China's economy.
But not everyone is seeing record sales. Many brick-and-mortar shops struggling to make ends meet have been forced to adapt and are now selling items via online live stream.
She's showing the contents of the book. If I want to buy it, I click this shopping cart icon. People have already gotten into the habit of buying things online. We need to reach those online customers too. If we didn't do these sales, our sales wouldn't be high enough. We might not even afford the store rent.
In October, China's government vowed to vigorously boost domestic consumption. As this year's Singles' Day sales continue, shop owners hope they too can see the benefits of China's planned economic growth.
Legislation to reopen the US government after the longest shutdown in history now heads to the House. After a final Senate vote, the 41-day shutdown could stretch a few more days, already costing the country an estimated $16 billion a week. And travel chaos is expected to continue. 1,200 more flights were cancelled Tuesday, adding to 9,000 axed nationwide. Even if the government reopens soon, relief for travellers won't be immediate. Brian Quinn has the story.
American air travelers facing delays, cancellations, and missed connections. Many are optimistic that a deal to end the government shutdown will bring a quick return to normalcy.
Hopefully they get this thing cleared up, with what the government's doing right now.
Hopefully this is over, things will get better, and we'll move on.
Those hopes, though, are likely to be dashed, at least in the short term. U.S. air traffic controllers work for the Federal Aviation Administration. As essential employees, they're expected to continue working without pay during shutdowns. But this one's duration has pushed many to take sick leave, citing mounting stress and even the need to take other jobs to pay the bills. Staffing shortages at control towers have led the FAA to order cuts to flight schedules. Monday saw at least 2,100 cancellations, a quarter of flights at Chicago's O'Hare, 16% at Boston's Logan Airport, and 15% at New York's LaGuardia. And the problem could be self-perpetuating. The House of Representatives has been on extended recess during the shutdown. Members far from Washington may have trouble getting back to the Capitol, and Republicans can afford to lose only 2 votes in order to pass the funding deal.
I will call all House members to return to Washington as quickly as possible. We'll give a 36-hour formal and official notice so that we can vote as soon as possible.
Airlines, meanwhile, will be facing a logistical nightmare, with planes and crews out of position after multiple cancellations, meaning that as the U.S. heads towards the Thanksgiving holiday, one of the busiest travel times of the year, disruptions could get worse before they get better.
And off the back of the US president proposing $10,000 bonuses for air traffic controllers who stayed on the job during the shutdown, Donald Trump took a sudden swipe at French tax policy. Speaking with Fox News host Laura Ingraham, the president was discussing Chinese students studying in the US when he veered off topic. Take a listen.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, you know, they put 25% taxes on American products.
Some interesting words. Trump was likely referring to an amendment to France's 2026 budget bill currently being debated in Parliament. It would set a 25% minimum tax rate on profits earned by multinationals based on their activity in France. It's been passed by the National Assembly, but still needs approval from the Senate. And Switzerland says it's close to securing a 15% tariff on its exports to the United States. This would be a major relief for Swiss exporters, who've been struggling under a punishing 39% levy imposed back in August. Local reports suggest a deal could be finalised within the next 2 weeks, but officials caution that talks could still collapse, much like they did during negotiations between American and Swiss trade representatives in late July. And Sharon, that's your business roundup this Thursday.